Guys, if you've been on the internet for more than 5 minutes, you've probably seen a celebrity interview show by the name of Hot Ones. Celebrities sit down and test their spice level as they're interviewed by host Sean Evans. On the show, you've seen the likes of Jennifer Lawrence, DJ Khaled, Shaquille O'Neal, Doja Cat, Matt Damon, and every single time, the host Sean Evans is there to take the heat. But we finally found a level of heat that Sean Evans cannot tolerate, and it all revolves around his relationship with porn star Melissa Stratton. Let's talk about it.
Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Amala. He was okay dating a sex worker until the internet found out. We talk about this stuff all the time, guys. Sex drop down below. I really appreciate that. It's good that chow. It's chow time.
Yeah, you better. Guys, before
we talk about it all the time, how selecting your mate really affects how people view you. Especially when you select a sex worker. People look down on you and look down on your choices because you could have picked much better.
Before we get into this video, please like and subscribe if you like the content you're watching. I never thought I would be discussing a story like this on the show, but I do feel like it has some underlying cultural commentary that we can get into, especially in a time where more and more women are choosing to engage in sex work online. Now, as I said before, host of Hot Ones, Sean Evans, is receiving a little bit of heat on the internet, and it all revolves around a relationship that he had with a woman by the name of Melissa Stratton. Now, Sean Evans, it seems, has been dating Melissa Stratton for quite some time, but it was kept under wraps. They were very secretive about their love life. And
I wonder why.
reason might be that Melissa Stratton happens to be a porn star. But Sean and Melissa decided to go to the Super Bowl, and soon pictures of them together were circulating on the internet. And on February 13th, it became widely known that Sean Evans was in a relationship with Melissa. And of course, this put the internet in a frenzy. If you're familiar with Sean Evans and Hot Ones, you'll know
the man is a millionaire. The man created such a great platform. He's so up there. So many people know what Hot Ones are. I've watched plenty of episodes. For that man of that caliber to choose a sex worker, what the fuck? Of course, everybody's gonna be like, why the fuck would you do that? That's a dumbass move.
that he's a particularly docile kind of guy. He comes off as very mild-mannered, and I think it was unexpected to find that he would be dating a sex worker. And out of the woodwork came many reactions. Some people were praising him, saying they didn't know he had game like that he raised her up. Others were dogging on him, saying that they could not believe he was dating a sex worker. And
what the fuck? Who's saying he has riz? It's a fucking sex worker, and he's worth millions. You don't think sex workers are gonna go after someone that's worth millions and famous? That's such a dumbass statement.
I think the final blow was levied when a man by the name of Adam22 decided to weigh in on the conversation. Now, Adam22, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is also an adult film star and podcaster who is most known for, I can't believe I'm saying this, allowing other men to sleep with his wife on film and even hosting competitions to find the next man to do so. A lot of degeneracy going on in this story. Now, Adam22 responded to the news that Sean and Melissa were dating by saying, "Congrats, Sean, her P word is fire. Fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji." Presumably, Adam has slept with this woman at one point or another in his life and decided to deliver a very low blow to Sean. Now, as you can imagine, this now tumultuous relationship ended quickly. And when I say quickly, I mean within 24 hours of the news becoming public. Sean broke up with Melissa on Valentine's Day. And with that news, Adam22 responded again with a video. Here it is, and I'll censor the bad parts.
He's such a troll.
Hey, Sean Evans. You know what I'm not feeling? I'm not feeling you breaking a sex worker's heart on Valentine's Day. Nobody deserves that. Melissa Stratton, she's a beautiful woman. Yes, she has chosen to have sex on camera for her career. Yes, she has had in and around her face, mouth, possibly I don't know. I gotta go search it up.
Look at troll.
But you are playing with her heart, and that's not cool because she's a woman. And Valentine's Day is a sacred holiday. And you're supposed to treat girls right on Valentine's Day. Sean, I don't know why I have to tell you this. I feel like, your parents probably should have taught you this at a certain point. But, Sean, you really don't want smoke with the sex worker community. So I would appreciate if you would apologize to Melissa for publicly shaming her on Valentine's Day, the sacredest of days. And then also I would like to invite you to come and lay something down on the Plug Talk couch. Let's see what you're packing.
Now, as little as I care about celebrity lifestyles and what's going on in their personal lives, I do think there's a bit of cultural commentary that's stuck within this.
Isn't it sad that the most degenerate person on the internet, Adam22, made a comment about your wife, how he fucked your wife or fucked your girlfriend? That's the level of degeneracy that is out there now. Sex workers, anybody that's ever had or seen them, they're going to come out of the woodworks and make fun of you. This is seen through many OnlyFans models now. That is just how it is. So, which I kind of agree. Society should be making fun of these men, should be shaming somewhat these men for selecting sex workers to be their partners.
Story. Increasingly, we're seeing young women choose to engage in sex work online, thinking that it's not going to go on to affect their lives in the future or their future relationship. We've heard many an OnlyFans model, if we want to call them that, say that they'll do OnlyFans to secure the bag and make some money, and as soon as they're ready to set that aside, they'll go on to find a husband who will treat them right in a long-term relationship. Now, I have no doubt that these women will go on to find men who are willing to court them and date them. I'm just worried about the kind of quality of that man. But we've seen time and time again, and this story is no exception, that men, while they may be willing to date an OnlyFans model or a porn star for fun and for a little bit of promiscuity, maybe that dating doesn't last once it becomes public and once they realize that maybe the values of that woman's occupation don't align with their own.
So would you date a girl with an OnlyFans?
No.
I wouldn't.
Honestly, probably not, no.
No. For the money, that would be interesting. No.
So would you date a girl that has an OnlyFans?
I wouldn't be comfortable with that. I couldn't.
Really? Even if you really liked her and she was like great, 10 out of 10, everything was amazing?
If I know ahead of time and I still do that, then that was my decision. But if it's like I find out later on, no, I can't do that.
Now, mind you, these men are not saints. I'm sure many of them are choosing to engage with this content in their free time and behind closed doors, but that changes when you start asking them about dating and marriage. Deep down, as much as we've girl bossified our society and women are free to be liberated in their sexual feelings, I don't think men want to date somebody who's choosing to do sex work. And the story that we're being sold, that you can make this sort of content on the internet and that it's liberating and that when you're done, you'll be able to find a man who loves you in the exact same way without any hurdles to jump over, is exactly that, a story. And keep in mind, this story with Sean Evans and Melissa Stratton is the story of a successful sex worker. Most of the young women who are hopping onto OnlyFans right now are making less than $200 a month. Now, as I said before, I don't think every single OnlyFans model or porn star is going to be lonely for the rest of her life and never find a man who wants to love her. It's just to say that the sex work that you did in your past is more than likely a hurdle that will need to be jumped over in your relationship rather than a bonus for the man you get involved with. And if you somehow find a man who doesn't view that as a hurdle or something to get over, I'd be questioning the quality of that man and his personal values. Now, do I think it was right for Sean Evans to date a porn star like Melissa Stratton, seemingly lead her on in a secret relationship and then break up with her on Valentine's Day when he couldn't take the heat? No. However, I do think it was inevitable. For somebody so good at asking questions, Sean Evans should have asked himself whether or not he was ready to stand by the woman he chose to date when her occupation was outed to the world. And that's what we all have to do, right? Decide which partner is right for us, and hopefully we're choosing a partner that stands within our own personal values. And if you're a man who wouldn't date or marry an OnlyFans model, maybe in your personal life you shouldn't be incentivizing the creation of more of them. We know it leads...
Bam. Hot take right there. I agree. I don't consume corn like that. You know, if I wanted to get some, I'll pursue some. Not saying that it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is.
To bad outcomes for all parties involved, and I think we're going to see several more stories like this pop up as time goes on. For women, you should ask yourself whether or not the risk of engaging in sex work is even worth it. Is it worth the money? Is it worth the commodification of your features? Is it worth the possible shame down the road and regret? Is it worth the idea of knowing that several people have seen parts of you that probably should have remained private? And whether or not you agree with the current stigma surrounding sex work, it doesn't change change the outcomes? Is the sex work you do now worth losing a healthy relationship in the future? That's not to say that Sean Evans was going to be a healthy boyfriend. I have no idea what he's like in a relationship. But think about your own life and the men that you could meet down the line who have values as such that they won't be accepting of the lifestyle that you led previously. These are all questions we must ask ourselves as our culture continues to degrade, quite honestly. It seems like Sean Evans has found his answer. Have you found yours? But those are just my thoughts on the situation. Drop your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, I encourage...
Amala was cooking right there. That was some good ass chow. I don't understand why these women really think that these top tier men, the men that they truly want, are gonna be okay with this. There's just no way someone like Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington, I don't know who, whatever, Matt Damon type people would ever really publicly be seen with sex workers or, engage with sex workers in a relationship. Behind closed doors is a different story, but never in a public relationship or a main relationship that can go public. Please like and subscribe below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time.